Good evening and welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of Wednesday, November 29th, 2017. The Planning and Zoning Commission is a citizen advisory group to the City Council charged with making recommendations concerning land use plans, planning processes, and are on matters of plan implementation. All regular meetings of the Planning and Zoning are quasi-judicial in nature and are recorded for record retention and minute transcription. Prior to this meeting at 6 o'clock, there was an agenda clarification meeting held. The following is the agenda. We will start with agenda item number 1. We will have the roll call, disclosure of conflict of interest, ex parte communication, and site visit. For that, we will have Aislinn call the roll, and if each commission member would state their name, what area they are from, and anything that they need to disclose. Aislinn?
Jack Brennan.
My name is Jack Brennan. I live in the Johnny Creek area. I did make a site visit to agenda item 3, and I have nothing else to report.
Bill Hancock.
My name is Bill Hancock. I'm from the Lewis and Clark neighborhood area. I have nothing else to report.
Sean Hargraves.
My name is Sean Hargraves. I live in the University neighborhood. I did a site visit for agenda item 3, and I have nothing else to report.
Jack Moore.
My name is Jack Moore. I live in the Old Town District, and I drove past the area. I did not stop, though. And I have nothing else to report.
Sarah O'Connor.
I'm Sarah O'Connor from the college neighborhood, and I have nothing to report.
Julia Sanders.
I'm Julia Sanders. I live in the South Park area. I did a site visit for agenda item number 3, and I have nothing else to report.
Ryan Satterfield.
I'm Ryan Satterfield from the Highland area, and I have nothing to report. All right, moving on to agenda item number 2, approval of minutes. Commissioners, have you had a chance to review the minutes? Any comments or motions on them?
So there was already a correction posted for the minutes. Other than that, they looked good. I move to approve the minutes as they are posted.
Very good. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Aislinn, would you call the vote?
Sanders.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes.
Hancock.
Yes.
Hargraves.
Yes.
O'Connor.
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes. Motion carries. Now to agenda item number 3, public hearing for an annexation. This time has been set aside for the Commission to hear comments from the public regarding a request by Cal Kunkel, represented by Blake Jolly of Connect Engineering, to annex and zone 11.87 more or less acres of land at 5096 South 5th Avenue, which is the old Sunset Drive-In. The proposed zoning for the property is residential, commercial, professional, with a comprehensive plan land use map designation to be applied based on that zoning. So if we could start this presentation with the presentation from the applicant.
If I remember, I need to sign in, right?
Yeah, that would be great. And then when you start, you'll state your name and your address. Though.
Okay. Blake Jolly with Connect Engineering at 1150 High Park Drive in Idaho Falls. As you mentioned, we're here to request the annexation of the property that I call the old Pocatello Drive-In Theater. It makes most sense to most everybody that's been around Pocatello, but we're requesting the annexation with the initial zoning of RCP, and one of the reasons we're asking that designation is because of what's surrounding there currently. There's multi-use of residential, commercial, and some professional offices that are down that direction, so we feel like that would fit what's down in that area and also give us some flexibility of what we want to do with the property. In discussion with city staff, there is city sewer and city water, so city utilities that run right down South 5th that have capacity and will have enough capacity to serve the proposed development that we're looking at doing there. So not a whole lot of explanation to it, but that's kind of our request, and if there's any questions for me, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Very good, thank you. Any questions? All right.
As far as, because I'm concerned about low-income housing, what is the income level of people that you're planning on having move in?
We're looking at doing something very similar to what we did over there off of Hawthorne. If you remember the rezone application we had a couple months ago back in August, it's going to be, what we're looking at right now is something similar to that development and the same type of status. I can't remember exactly the cutoff number for that, but it's going to be very similar.
You said it was 40,000.
What was that?
You said it was about 40,000.
I think it's going to be right around that number, yeah.
All right.
Thank you. All right, if we could hear from the staff now. Carl, would you come and give us a presentation?
Good evening, Commission members. My name is Carl Anderson, Senior Planner, City of Pocatello. The application you have before you, as indicated in the agenda and staff report, is from the applicant Cal Kunkel, who is also the property owner, represented by Blake Jolly of Connect Engineering. The application is for the annexation of approximately 11.87 acres. The applicant has requested zoning of residential commercial professional, RCP, and a comprehensive plan designation of mixed use. The annexation request is in statutory compliance with Idaho State Code as a Category A annexation, which allows annexation to take place wherein all private landowners have consented to annexation. In this case, the applicant is the owner of the subject property. The Public Works Department has reviewed the application and has no concerns at this time. We believe the property can be served by adequate utilities and water service. The Public Works Department has also recommended that the water payment be provided by per City of Pocatello Resolution 2006-02 and paid prior to final plat application. Per City Code 1702-110, as land is annexed, it shall be given a comprehensive plan designation and zoning district designation. And again, just to reiterate, the applicant is requesting a mixed-use designation for the property and to be zoned as residential commercial professional. Notice requirements have been met, and 2 written public comments have been received and are attached to the staff report. No additional public comment has been received. With that, I stand for questions, and Merrill Quell, Public Works, is also here to answer questions. Alrighty.
Very good, thank you. Any questions from the commission? Okay, thank you, Carl. All right, we will now go into the public hearing portion of this. The way the public hearing will work is we will start with any who are in favor of the application. Then we will move to any who are neutral about the application, and then we will have any that are opposed to the application. If you want to give testimony, we would ask that you come up, put your name down and address, and that you state your name and address prior to giving that testimony. So I will now declare the public hearing open and would ask any who are in favor of the application if they would like to give testimony. Seeing none, any that are neutral on the application?
Okay, I have a question first. So what happens to the trailer court in between there and the city limits if this goes through?
Why don't we have you come up and so we can make it part of the...
I may not be neutral. I may be against this.
Okay.
I'm Janine Ballard, and I live in the trailer court next door at 4920 South 5th, number 31, which is currently in the county. I just want to know what happens to the trailer court that's next door if this land gets annexed.
Okay, and that's an excellent question. We're not necessarily going to answer that right now, but we will just accept all testimony right now, and then
Would
we'll
it
have
be-
it. Then
So
we'll
you
have
don't
a
know if it
discussion.
would be part of the annexation?
Right now, it's not part of the annexation, no. And I don't know if you've seen a map of what the annexation area is, but the trailer court is not part of the
I'm
annexation.
believing that it is on the other side of the trailer court where the drive-in theater used to be.
That's correct. That's where the annexation is currently that is being addressed here tonight. So,
And so this leaves a little strip of land which has a trailer court. that would-
correct. That will still be part of the county after this, if this annexation goes through.
Okay, so it will not affect it in that way.
In that way, no.
All right, that was my first question, my main question. I didn't know what they were using the land for, but I just wondered how it would affect the status.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any others that would like to testify who are neutral? And then we will go into any who might be opposed to the application. Okay, seeing none, we will then close the public hearing. We would offer to the applicant any chance to rebut any comments if they choose. Okay. With that declined, we will then open it up to the commissioners for any discussion or possible questions that might need answered.
Mr. Chair, do we have to put on the record in any way the two things that were attached, the two emails from public comment? I'm just not certain. I seem to have a recollection that we put a little bit in the record as to what those were.
So with them being part of the staff report, in essence, they do become part of the record that way.
Thank you.
So, yep. Yeah, and if there's any comments that any commissioners would like to make relative to that, that would be just fine as well.
I think lining up the driveways is a good idea.
Yeah.
And sidewalks are never a bad idea. So.
Correct. Yeah, and I think a lot of those things get addressed during the plating stage more so than the annexation. But yes, having those concerns brought up now helps the applicant to know what to expect. If no other discussion items, I'd certainly entertain a motion.
You're going to rely on me again?
Everybody's here, and Jack's still going to go for it.
I move that we accept the annexation, including the staff report as attached. That's it.
Second.
Okay, so it's been moved by Jack Brennan and seconded by Sean that it be accepted. If we could then have Aislinn call the vote.
Brennan?
Yes.
Hargraves?
Yes.
Hancock?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
O'Connor?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes. So motion carries. For everybody's information, this is a recommendation to the City Council, and will go before the City Council for the final decision. This is just a recommendation, and so you can also make comment at that public hearing as well. With that, we'll call the meeting to adjourned. Thank you for coming.